Alrighty. Hello, everybody. How is it going? How are you doing? Welcome. Greetings and salutations. Obviously firing up a little late, but it is what it is sometimes. Um, yeah. D&D time. You ready? I'm ready. They're mostly ready. Mostly. Um, yeah, so we're gonna be firing up in a minute, so sit back and relax and we'll get to start in a minute. So, with that being said, who would like to do ye old recap while Opal Pops gets here?
Hmm. Look at my notes here.
Hello.
Well, I could try. Um, looking at my notes here, we started by arguing about whether we were going to sleep or not. And finally, we decided to head to a different building to sleep. And oh yeah, and Opal was dragging some corpses around with her to because she wanted to work on fixing her weapons, and she was going to use some parts of the corpses. And then Veldrin heard a voice like offering to make some kind of deal to take down his and Niavara's mother or something like that. Um, let's see. And then we did a long rest, and I think Zed took the first watch, and it says he was looking for a message. Looking for a message from Miriam, I think. Um,
Yeah, it for whatever reason it seemed like we had someone had tried to maybe contact us, but it was like I guess it was akin to getting like a missed call. There was just some sort of Zed had some sort of sense that he missed some sort of contact with the that amulet from Miriam.
oh, okay. And then we went back to the armory to look for, trying to find the proper weapon. And then the hand reached up and grabbed Marius and pulled him into a hole. Wait, it was the same hand that had tried a little earlier, I think I remember. Pulled him in, and then we all followed, and then Niavara sent a message to Tio before she jumped in. And when we jumped down, it like looked completely black. You couldn't see the bottom or anything. And then when we landed, felt like about 15 feet down. Then when we looked up, it was the same thing. All you see is black. Marius was like, went on a rampage, started trying to destroy everything because it was all evil and he was going to get rid of all of it. And we stopped him because we're like, dude, we need to investigate. And then we discovered a symbol, and in the middle of the symbol, it looked like a place that you could poke a sword in, like it looked like a keyhole, and it looked like it needed a long sword, I think. And that's mostly all I remember. Anybody else want to add? Talkative bunch tonight, I see.
Marius's leader definitely being a sort of double agent of some variety. Marius is very upset about that. Doesn't believe us.
How did he find that out?
Well,
How did
no,
he
he
find that
didn't
out?
find that out. So his he had told us that his leader used the weapon that belonged to the long sword that uses Kyber's symbols on it, right? So he has the shield of Bahamut, and there's also the sword of Kyber, right?
Oh, right.
And we know that the sword of Kyber works with this little gate to Mechanus.
Gate to Mechanus.
Yeah, there's like some sort of so there's a teleportation circle underneath the armory that leads to Mechanus. We think that's our best guess. And so he's like, what stupid nonsense. Meanwhile, the pieces are all there, homie. I regret to inform you. Something's up. I think the very end of the session, Veldrin and Zedrin had figured out something in regards to the teleportation circle. Just
Veldrin
as
found the key.
Perfect.
What'd you say?
Veldrin found the key.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Meanwhile, Sari and Niavara have been running all over like, let's go on an adventure trying to find the key. One more time. And we turned up nothing. even though we had a really, really good idea. Kyber has 5 heads. The Hydra we fought had 5 heads. Oh my god.
Right.
Look at that. What a great trying to piece it together. Didn't work.
Well, we
But
just
that's
needed
okay.
to trust that we did a good job looking the first time. Didn't need to second guess ourselves.
Yes.
All right. If that is all you can think of, then we pick up where we left off.
Yeah, I'd like Feldrin to remind us about that, finding the key, because somehow I totally missed that.
With a sword in Veldrin's hand, warm to the touch.
And Veldrin, where did you find that?
Under the forge.
Oh, now I remember. The whole thing comes back to me. Yes, yes. Yes, underneath the coals in the forge. Yep. All right, I remember now.
Even though currently the only ones who know of Veldrin's find would be Marius, well, obviously Veldrin and Zed, as everybody else went out and exploring, searching, investigating.
Well, we're heading back because we didn't find shit.
Yep.
So we jump back down the hole, and we're like, we didn't find shite.
Where are your tokens at?
Need to borrow.
Oh.
We're over all the way down here. We need to run back
Right.
over.
That's right.
God damn, that was so fucking disappointing. We had brilliant ideas, amazing ideas, and
It
yet,
was a great idea.
where the fuck would that key be then? That room is so tiny. Ah, hi, Kozik. No luck.
Hello.
Shit hunting.
We tried though.
For all we know, the fucking sword is embedded in a tree at this point.
Eric doesn't exist.
It exists. Somewhere. Any of
No
our
luck. How
peers.
about you guys? You guys down in the hole, Zed, Veldrin. No luck. How about you guys?
I think I found the key.
You did. Let's see it. What's
Up
it look
through
like?
the hole is black, isn't it? And down through it is black, right?
We jumped down in.
Oh, you jumped down in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Veldrin would hold it up.
What's it look like? Will you tell us what it looks like?
It's a long sword with Tiamat on it, right?
Yep. Well, a longsword with 5 draconic heads at the hilt, a flame
Yeah.
motif that seems like it spews from the hilt all the way to the very tip of the sword, which has it splits out just a little bit, kind of like a little bulge at the very tip of it that conveys a flame, a gout of flame.
Well
Where did
then,
you find
Neobar
it? Oh, sorry, Nearbar.
hops back in the hole with them.
So I'm not entirely too sure, but it seems as though with that sword and that shield, we'd be able to open up that room that was below the other room.
Mhm.
And he's going to turn
So
to
that-
Marius. So question. I know you said you don't really know what's behind there, and that you were kind of guarding it or protecting it. What were you tasked to do if anyone got in that room?
Our orders were to guard the door from intruders.
Would we be considered intruders at this point?
If you have the key, you're not intruding.
Aye.
Brilliant logic. Stunning. Amazing.
Absolutely marvelous.
Flawless.
he-
Thank you, Marius.
Now here's the question though. This sword, it'll help us open the door in the other building, but it also works this portal here. Is that right?
We think so.
It does both.
Do you want to accidentally go to Mechanus? I don't think
Yeah,
I would do.
It's a bit of a conundrum. I mean, what's Mechanus?
Neovar glances over to Zedrin and or Veldrin.
Zed just shrugs. It's no idea.
How do you know that's where the portal goes? Or can you tell me about this Mechanus you're talking about?
Opal is the one that identified the symbol on the floor. With the-
Right. Where does that girl go?
Hello. Hi. What was the question?
What is Mechanus?
What is Mechanus? That symbol on the floor with the portal.
DM, did I just learn that it was a symbol of Mechanus, or did I learn anything else about Mechanus?
I know you saw the symbol.
I know I saw the symbol and identified it as one
I'll
of
check
Mechanus, but I'm not
notes.
sure if I recalled who Mechanus was as a god.
Or a
Mechanus was a
place,
place.
Oh,
It was the
sorry, place. Mechanus
Yeah.
sounds like the name of a god, I won't lie.
I didn't.
Could be,
There.
could be.
I don't think making the DM sift through a bajillion notes. God.
Sorry, DM.
Such
Or
a
am I?
burden.
Let's see the information they learned. Once I got to put that in my notes. I found that. That. I don't have it in my notes that they looked up what Mechanus was. Not sure if anybody looked into Mechanus. I think you only
I
saw the
remember
symbol.
I remember there being a lore dump, but I don't know if it was just conversations between us, like out of character, versus information given in character.
Go sifting through notes. The Mechanus lore. I'm not finding it in my notes, so. Nope. That was about them.
I mean, I could roll another history check to figure out if I know anything about this city.
Sure. As I'm going through multiple files.
Don't fail me now, dice. That is a
Yes.
24.
Nice.
Um, basically, Mechanus is a plane of law.
Oh.
What?
Huh. Mechanus is a plane of law.
Oh,
Um,
ew.
That's right. Maybe you did find it. So basically, it's a plane of law, and when if you were to ever go to this place, which you've only probably heard of through your own father and his inventions and studies,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
plane is basically, instead of islands and nations and the sea and etc., like every landmass is atop a gear in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Top
let's
of
see.
gear.
Which
Let's
kind
see.
of makes sense in regards to the, I guess, quote unquote, invaders that Marius was fighting and what you have recently dealt with. All the constructs, because, you know, primarily constructs live there, quote unquote, live.
They exist. They
Basically,
exist there.
it is a plane that is of law and order, as if, you know, Nirvana had equal amounts of light, dark, heat, and cold in equal measures of the four elements. It is essentially balance and law.
Opal
If
will correct herself. Go ahead.
that was it.
Okay. Opal will correct herself. It's a plane of law in the way that everything is equal. Everything is balanced out completely. If that
I,
makes any sense.
and what about that part where it's like everything's on a gear head, or like on a gear instead of like a continent, or
She will also share that. She will share all that she knows at the party.
I'm wondering if this place might be where these creatures, if you want to call them that, or constructs, or mechanical things, is I wonder if that's where they came from. In which case, I would not want to be opening that portal. Thank you very much.
I guess like my question is like, okay, I obviously can't talk to these individuals. They would look at me and just go, don't like that. Get rid of it. But like some of you would like probably be fine. Are there any people who have like a strict moral code here?
Yeah. Hey.
Anyone else?
It's Kozik
Hey.
is coughing from the broken walls.
I don't think Kozik, and I mean this in the kindest sense. I don't think you count.
Well,
You have some
I
sort of
don't.
code.
I
If
mean,
you're interacting,
Sari's
you're at
got a
least there.
code, but it's more like neutral good. She's a little bendy. I
Mhm.
mean, she's traveling with, Drow and just doing fine. I don't know that she's got a strict moral code, as it were, but uh, strict enough. But she's wary of a place that brands itself with the idea of law, because anybody that talks about that's usually got a narrow vision of it.
Marius, maybe. But like at that
Right.
point, like at that, what? I obviously don't count. I don't think Zedrin counts. With much love. Much love and flowers. Sorry, maybe paladins can.
They
But like,
can, but she's a little more flexible than a lot of paladins. Her oath is a little different.
Opal, I don't think so. And
No?
Kozak, she's again like looking up mentally. Would you consider yourself like someone with a strict moral code that you follow no matter what?
Of course, I protect those who need protection. I never shy away from adventure. Show respect and dignity to the poor. Stuff like that.
Well, by those terms, I'm right there with them.
Is there
I think
anything
s-
that you would like flex on, like any, like out of character? Is Kozak a lawful character?
I've always considered him to be a lawful character.
Even with all the breaking in and the
He doesn't participate. He lets
okay.
Zedrin and Niavara do it, i.e.,
Like-
the tried and true method of maintaining your oath as a paladin. Let your
Mhm.
party members do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, let them cut the throats. Yeah, that's
but there's still the flexibility of even traveling with folks that you're letting them do. I mean, that's already shows a flexibility, doesn't it?
I mean, it depends on like. So it's like, it's hard to like sort of grok lawful. All I know is that I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm basically a KOS.
Well, how many
Veldrin,
folks are thinking there's a possibility this place is where those constructs came from?
oh, like 100%. There's no other way. Mechanus, the world of fucking constructs, like,
Then,
are we insane?
why do I mean we just about got killed by these things. Why would we want to go there?
Figure out why they're coming here. Was there like some sort of fucking deal?
Yeah, but we've been dealing with them maybe a few at a time, and if we're going somewhere where that's their home, thinking a little bit outnumbered, and well, I don't think I want to step through that gate.
Very fair. I will point out the flaw in your logic. Like,
Oh,
okay,
good.
a hag, right? It's a fae. It sort of like just chills out here in the normal material plane, right? If
Yeah.
you like take your logic, right? You're like, oh my god, we've been fighting these fucking hags. Why would I want to go to the Feywild? That's where the hags are from. Do you understand?
Yeah,
We're
I
we're
hear
fighting
ya.
individual factions. We have no idea why they're coming out through the portal. Marius, do you know?
That the creatures appeared out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't you say that, like, there had been some sort of battle that was waging on for quite some time? Like, were they trying to invade here? What was the? Do you have any idea what their motives are?
Their motives were to destroy us, clearly.
Could Vildren do a history check about this war? Because he was able to remember that it was like when this happened was about the same time everything with Lolth happened.
Sure. Get my notes on that while you do that in case you do pass.
I do remember that these constructs were programmed, as it were, to do that one job of protecting and holding captive,
Right.
and so what we might be facing are their makers, and whatever those intentions are.
Okay.
That's right. So that's wide open.
That's the name of the city, and that was
So
his battalion. Okay.
they were definitely sent here, and by someone or something, and programmed to have some sort of directive. But what's odd is apparently, as Opa was describing this plane of law and order and balance, what sort of entity would live in a place of that existence and be trying to like make an army and invade another plane? And I can't connect those two dots here. It doesn't seem like this plane that we're speaking of, it doesn't seem like they have wars because everything's all equal. What's the point?
Well, is it all equal, or what did they say? The elements were equal in equal measure, but does that mean every person's equal?
Message to them. There. Get that message across.
Huh.
Any thoughts?
Fake. My brain stuck out the window. Hey, Ted, could you hit that for me again? Just the end of it.
Yeah, what?
Hmm? Sorry, I got a bit distracted. Zed was the last one talking, right?
No, I asked a
Oh,
question.
and sorry, what was your question?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. I'm so tired right now.
No, it's
Um,
okay. I'm just a fool for
it,
like unfocusing here.
yeah, it was a big day, so I'm just tired. Let's see. Zed said something about why would they even bother with war and stuff if everything there is equal, and what would be the point? And Sari said she understood the information to be that all the elements were in equal measure, but that didn't necessarily mean all the beings there were equal to one another. And she asked what other people thought.
Hmm. Well, in a place like that, I don't think things like passion, fantasy, and, well, let's be frank, illusion wouldn't exist there. Unless somebody else brought it in, it wouldn't really be there, would it?
No, not likely a land of law.
So, maybe by coming here, it could be something along the lines of they were trying to find something for themselves that they couldn't find there. This might not even be necessarily a respected group in that dimension or in that plane.
But the creatures that we fought seemed to have like a real focused sense of purpose. Like uh, they were keeping everybody. They were holding prisoners, and they were going after uh, us for sure. But they seemed like just focused on a specific job. They didn't seem like I don't know, individuals on a journey after some kind of missing part of themselves they were journeying to find or something.
Then why not
So
return to their home plane? Why stay here for so long?
Well,
well,
maybe they were put on a mission to I don't know, protect their own, protect the key, protect the portal, or stop people. They don't want people in the door either. I don't know. Oh no, but they were fighting those guys. Maybe they want in the door, and they couldn't figure out how to get in the door either.
I'm fairly certain that they were programmed with a directive, not acting on their own accord, if that's what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
suggesting.
yeah.
And they were obviously here. They had Marius captured and have just been roaming around, I guess, trying to find anyone else. I'm not sure.
Right, because didn't they have Marius captured for like 1,000 years or something?
Aye.
I mean, have we encountered any other skeletons here? That is my question.
Outside of the tentacle thing, which I don't even know if it is living.
Yes, you have.
And
Wait, skeletons? Huh.
and the Hydra,
Right.
like
Then
everything
it was
else
just the mechanicals.
has just been mechanical, basically.
The
Wait,
merchant.
Thank
Oh,
you,
true.
DM. That is very true. He was a skeleton.
Who was a skeleton?
The merchant that we encountered when we first came to this place.
Oh, right. An actual skeleton. By the way, I wouldn't mind if you worked on that potion for me, Opal, sometime. Just a
Oh, right.
reminder.
The next time we take a nap, or the next time we all need to take a nap, I'll take a look-see at it.
All right, thank you.
Regardless, there aren't any other skeletons here. Marius is the only warm body we have found. Why is he the only living being that is still here?
Yeah, he was in prison, but right. What happened to the rest of them?
You'd think bone would take longer than that to wear off in a place where time doesn't really matter, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right.
And even if their skeletons weren't around, you'd think that their armor and weapons would still be around.
Yeah, right. So what happened to Marius's
But
people?
we found armor and weapons and all that stuff in a
Yes,
whole bunch of the
but
different
the-
rooms. There's no
but it's
signs of
not
the
like-
people.
It's not like the weapon and armor was scattered around on the floor as if a body had once been there, right?
Yeah, right. Good point.
It's all hung up on stands or in display, not scattered about as if somebody had died somewhere and then their body had rotted away.
Yeah. That's a brilliant point. So what did happen to Marius's platoon, as it were?
Maybe Marius was the last of quite a long few, or quite a few people to be moved or inspected or who knows what. Maybe, just maybe. Actually, I won't say that as to not get anybody's hopes up.
Well, now you've gone and done it. What hopes? About what?
It's better to leave it in suspense.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that's a downright evil laugh, that.
I have developed my evil laugh over all of my time as a DM. It's been great.
Yeah, but I don't think of Opal as having an evil laugh. Now you're messing with my head.
If we encountered Marius, he might not have been here alone too long. As far as we can tell, time in here doesn't matter. So maybe, just maybe, Marius's people might still be breathing.
Well, they may have gone through. Well, no, they couldn't have gone through either the door or the portal because the key was hidden and they would have needed it to open the dang thing.
And
Oh,
Marius.
what if Marius were the
Unless
last one here and Marius
one
knew
person
everything?
stayed behind,
Right,
aye.
Marius. So maybe
and then
he's
they
not telling us
closed the
everything.
portal, and then they hid the sword inside of a magical forge.
Right. And he's not telling us everything.
Or it's not Marius. Why would Marius do that and then what?
Well, maybe his
Get
people
captured?
escaped and he hid the stuff, and then he got captured
Well, the shield
because
was
he
hung
stayed
up
behind.
on a suit on the wall next to a suit of armor. You'd think that he'd have it if he was, you know.
Maybe he didn't have enough time though. Maybe all he could do was hide the sword, and then those creatures came and captured him before he was able to hide everything. But he at least got one of the two things hidden. I'm gonna bet they went through the door too, and not because if these people came in just clobbering them, I doubt they would have gone into the portal. I bet they went through that door.
I think we could sit here until the sun goes down and comes back up and still have no idea what happened. So what are we
Yeah,
gonna
but
do
it's
now?
fun to think about it.
Well, yeah, but it's
Well,
like we're
it's
just
up.
sitting here trying to speculate. We've been looking for this sword for a long time and fought a lot of stuff, and so now that we've got it, are we gonna go back and open that door?
Well, that's I think the decision we're trying to make is: are we opening the door or are we going through the portal to McInnes? And I think that's the decision we're trying to make. And I'm all for
I'm,
opening the door,
I'm not going to
not
Mechanus
McInnes.
like
Yeah,
this.
McCannis. Well, there we are. There's a couple of us that don't want to go there. I'd say we go through the door.
Yeah, unless that door is gonna take us to Mechanus anyway, I'm kind of more inclined to see what's behind the door that's got godlike artifacts that need to open it. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kozik suggested that there was something behind there that he might need as well.
All right. Possibly. What you say, Niavara and Veldrin and Opal and Zed and Kozik and I are all for going through the door. What y'all say?
Well, I think going to the door is probably a smart idea, and, well,
Hey, puppy.
she once again glances at the floor. You know, I think that we destroy this circle. This has done enough.
Can it be destroyed?
Yeah. What do you know about magic circles or teleportation circles?
Yeah.
Not much.
Well, come here. Also, Marius, come here. I have a brilliant thing to tell you, Marius. We're going to
Uh-oh.
finally get rid of the source of these fuckers. Would you like to join me?
Sarsa the fucker. That's it.
As you call his name and he puts down a table as he was like looking under it. He pokes his head back up. Are we raiding their homestead?
Actually, what we're going to do is lock them behind forever, behind a wall, so they can never hurt anyone again. We're going to starve them out. You know this tactic well, yes?
Keep them from returning. That was
Exactly.
my idea, and he finishes flipping over a table.
Exactly. So, if you look on
We
the
like
floor,
your idea.
if you look on the floor, yes, you can see it had to be carved carefully, right? In order to make one of these, you have to have a special type of chalk. Typically speaking, right? Advanced level clerics can learn how to make them. This one looks a little bit more advanced, though. However, in order to disrupt it, all you need to do is get rid of it. Like, you just erase it. And so she takes out her daggers. Just dig it up and fuck it up.
Right, but what about that keyhole in the middle?
Once the actual markings are ruined, it can't work anymore.
All right then.
Just go crazy.
All right.
And so
I
she
get out my warhammer and I start whacking at the circle to try to disrupt that that continuity.
We should maybe keep a memory of the symbol as well in case we see it anywhere else, as that would be puzzling at the least.
Opal has a whatever memory.
I was gonna just say a photographic memory. I was just gonna
Of
say that.
terrain.
Exactly. And she saw it.
It's specifically so they don't get lost.
Well, if anyone wants to take it like a little drawing of it, Vel.
If anyone, Vel.
Sorry, you said that and I started sneezing.
What a mood. Do you want to like take a little drawing of it so like we can keep an eye out for it, just in case? And she grabs Marius's around the shoulder, just in case, Marius, we accidentally see it. Oh my god, holy shit, it's another magic circle sort of thing, right? So that we can, bar them from this plane.
Kozik,
Cubed, can
roll me a
you
d20.
send me-
Sorry, what?
Could you send me the picture that you had shared before of this? Because I remember there being one last time.
I posted it. Yeah, it's in the Tuesday.
Oh, right there, the eye looking thing.
Was that roll a d20 for Niavara?
Nope, that was for Kozik.
Oh.
I was hitting the ground.
Yep. Let's see what the result of that is. Just a basic d20.
Huh? Me?
Yep.
I decided to roll a die in the first place. I don't think I had.
All right. So Kozik goes, because I believe you said you were going to try and hit the ground with the Warhammer,
Yeah.
and you feel the weight of your Warhammer just shift very erratically, and it impacts the ground, but at a really awkward angle, and there's a bit of like reverberation, and the head of the Warhammer just flies off like a melted
Oh.
popsicle.
Damn.
It didn't break. It just kind of like a bit loose, a bit used, and not, maybe you didn't put as much time and attention to maintaining and making sure everything is, the equipment is up to snuff. You just kind of pull it out and murder goblins with it.
Yeah, you got to soak it in a bucket. I didn't do that.
Or just tighten a bolt or whatever.
Be a nut on there. Okay, I definitely retrieve the head of it and kind of sheepishly pack it back in my belonging and put the handle back over my back and kind of pout for a second.
I can help you fix that up later, Kozik.
Mm.
And Marius sees you do that and gives you a thumbs up.
Well, I'm encouraged by that, so I guess I'll get out my light hammer and I'll get down on my my haunches and start trying to chip away at this thing.
Yeah, and there should be like tons of forging hammers all over this area that anyone could grab and pound on the if you're trying to pound the ground. There's a lot of forging hammers around, so that shouldn't be in terms of finding tools.
All right, Marius, throw me one of those hammers that are hanging around.
Which is very easy for him to do so. Was there anything anybody else want to do while Kozik is getting ready to
Oh, I'll
start?
grab a hammer.
Yeah,
And I would think
Neavara.
Marius would too.
Neavara's like digging through her shit, like, okay, what do I got? What do I got?
And
Are we sure
Veldrin
we
was
want to destroy it before we see what is behind the door?
Oh yeah.
We know what's behind the door. It's Mechanus.
No,
you want-
there's another door.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go there for sure. But we're just
Okay,
making
I
sure no one's following us out of this portal. We don't want
I
any
hear-
more of them coming in.
actually hear Vel's point. The key only works the portal only works presumptively with the sword embedded in it, right? So it is in
Mhm.
fact a one-way portal, or more accurately, it's a portal that is only controllable from one side. Like
As far as we know, I mean, those, as far as we know, and there could be somebody hiding half a mile down the road that shows up and wants to let these creatures in. I don't know. I like destroying the thing. That's where I'm.
The key
I'm
is the
with you.
sword. As long as we have the sword, no one else can open it.
like that's
Right.
so to explain again like how the actual magic circle works, or teleportation circle, it's not a magic circle. It works, right? Once it's drawn in a certain way, it sort of there has to be two ends to it, right? Typically speaking, you learn how to make it and you start learning the locations of other places that teleportation circles have already been set up. You can't just make one and say, like, if I drew one on the floor right now and said, wibbly wobbly, transport me to Tia Moonblade's house, that won't work because there's not a teleportation circle at Tia Moonblade's house.
Right.
So that's what I mean. So if you look on the floor, right now, the symbol's not complete. It needs one more thing.
Right.
Even
it
if
needs a
that
sword.
exactly, even if they're at the other location in Mechanus, right? They're on the teleportation circle in Mechanus. They cannot access our circle because it's not complete. Do you understand?
I get you, but somebody came here and made this portal
Mhm.
to open it to Mechanus.
Probably his
And-
commander before everything went to shit.
Right. Well, I hear that it doesn't work without the key,
Mhm.
but I don't see there's any harm in making sure it also doesn't work because it's not there anymore.
I'm
But
saying we do
The
that
only thing
after
that-
we see what is in the place up above. Whatever's in there, we might decide we need to go to Mechanus.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
yes, so what Veldrin is saying is that we shouldn't alter the circle
We got
yet
it. We go. Yeah.
until we know
Yeah.
if there's something else going on. Very valid, very true.
I mean, the only reason we'd not is if we're thinking we might go there. That's the only reason to keep it intact.
And we might, who knows? And
Right,
she
so-
shapeshifts once again and she becomes a dragonborn. Like, I could be a lawful good cleric of Halal. I can do it.
Marius, no, don't smite her. She's not evil.
Why would he smite me? Do you even know?
Look
Halal!
at your duplicitous face.
HLAL. Halal, the dragon goddess. Not Lolth. Psh.
He's preoccupied staring up at little one staring at him.
Very real. Very fair. I can be the lawful good cleric of Lol and go to the
Checking
realm of
languages.
Mechanus. I can do it.
Well, we'll have to do that later. What if they even got to eat there?
Anyone even
I thought we
Potatoes,
decided we
nuts and
didn't even want
bolts?
to go there.
Well, we don't, but let's see what's on the other side of the door before we just cut off our avenues.
Fine. Let's do that. But then let's go to the door.
What language is it Neovara picked?
Huh?
Looking at people's languages.
Oh, it's actually not on my current sheet. Let me double check. It's on Inanna's. Ha! I actually didn't even pick Draconic as a language. Common, Elvish, Infernal, Primordial, and Undercommon.
Yeah, we'll try and get that updated. Yeah, we'll try and get that updated on the sheet.
I'll do it.
That reminded me to look up what I had on my old sheet.
Common. Draconic there. Do you know Draconic? No. You know Draconic. No. No Draconic? No. He has a helmet. Alright. Just checking. Information.
Yeah, I wish I spoke Draconic. That would be so great. And she's sort of like, looking at her scales on her because, pretending to be a dragonborn. She's like, and what type of dragon should I be? I've never tried to, impersonate one before.
Some sort of werewolf?
Huh?
Some sort of vampire? I don't know.
No, like what color dragon?
What color? I thought you said what kind.
Yeah, same difference.
Oh well. Certainly the kind that tends to have a nicer.
I heard it's have a nicer and you cut out.
Some sort of nice dragon that aligns with Bahamut, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I made the joke about being a servant of Halal, on account of the fact that she is a sort of alternative version of the Traveler. They have a very similar portfolio as gods. And a very similar outlook on life, although she's pretty much always considered good, Copper or brass?
Brass.
Oh, shoot. That was an accident.
I think that actually fits. That unfortunately fits too well, doesn't it? And she starts changing the color of her scales.
And what's Opal doing in all of this?
Listening into friends. Smile. Sorry.
Alright. And I guess the big question is, what's Veldrin doing? He's kind of the one holding the sword right now. Detect magic is still going. Of course, Belgian has a BRB right now.
Right.
Perfect timing. So Neovar is changing scales.
Beautiful brass dragon. What type of dragonborn is Marius? Is he gold?
Yep. Let's
Oh,
get
that's
the
funny.
image form again. Da-da-da-da. Let's see. Is it Marius?
Now, is this worth maintaining his little appearance? I don't know. On the other hand, she looks up at the eyeing where she knows the edge of the wall to be and like where she had struggled to like, goot up. She like starts stretching herself to be a little bit taller. So that she's more aligned with Marius's height anyway.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Convincing disguise? Hmm?
It never ceases to amaze me.
Oh,
I
Foundry.
don't like that they don't have lips. And she sort of like rubs where they should be on her face. That's the weird part. I don't like that that Dragonborn don't have lips. It's very uncomfortable.
Sort of like an iguana.
Yeah, sort of like an iguana indeed. And then she looks down at her feet and she's like, I should probably take off my shoes before I keep going because yeah. The rest of the dress I can, it's fine. I can figure that out. I can do mending on that later. But the claws and such. As she, like taps them on her own hand. You know what's funny? They don't actually work very well.
Yeah.
They look like claws, but they're not.
Well, shall we make our exit?
I think we shall.
Little one flutters back to Zed at the mention of leaving. Yeah, move to where you want to be.
All right, let's all climb the fuck out.
Oh, back up the rope again.
Back up the rope again.
Pull an opal up again.
And let's go back to the very first place that we entered.
So you guys all climb out. Marius eventually climbs out. After
Yeah.
you probably hear the sound of something being knocked over before he does. I'll just move Veldrin because it's AFK.
It's this building, right?
Let me get the camera angle here. I'll just move them to where there. I know where they're going to end up. All right, so I see Neovar and Opal still in the other building. Are you having a private conversation? An RP moment between a super secret RP moment up there.
Siblings.
Just spaced out.
Oh, I just saw Opal and Neovar were still in the other room.
Oh, right, no. Just a distraction. I don't know where Gavin's up to. Trying to get BROD why he settled on top of all of my blankets and it's very cold right now.
Why can't that move your token?
So he's not next to his computer.
Oh, I don't know what Gavin's up to. I'm in a different room than
I'm
him.
here.
Oh, I thought you were saying he's snuggled up in the bed.
No,
No,
that's
my
Brad,
dog.
Oh, your dog is.
That would be
Okay.
insane. Can you imagine?
I don't know.
No, my dog is currently lying on top of all the blankets on my bed, and I'm like, dude, give me one. I really don't think that anyone has been here more recently. Sorry, like on account of the fact that like if you look and she kicks the first Warforged that they fought. Look at this son of a bitch. He was practically falling apart. All of them have been practically falling apart. No one has like used that teleportation circle in forever.
Which is a good reason not to go through it and alert them to the fact that there's activity over here.
Very true. Very real. And she sort of sighs as she's like, I should consider being taller in my spare time. This is nice. The wider, the longer leg, the stride, that's nice. That's nice. I always forget. I feel so short and pathetic. But downstairs we go. Vel has the sword. Marius has the shield.
Yep. So you climb down the ladder.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And
All
once
right,
again,
and
greeted by a very large and imposing door.
Kyber's Gate. So remind me, was the thing that had the implement for the shield in down here, or was it upstairs?
Upstairs against the wall. Far wall.
So we need to put them in there first. She calls up Marius. Vel, put the sword and the shield in the holes that we found on the wall. Together. Let's see what happens.
Would Veldrin do it? Since
We've
Veldrin
only
is
been
currently BRB.
Oh, L.
Actually,
We have
since one of the people who it has the implement utilized for getting past this door is currently AFK, let's take a bio break. Get up, stretch. A chance to get an energy drink, head in the game, whatever people do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Little breaky break. One sec.
Head in the game.
I have returned.
Wee.
We're having
All
a
right.
break for a moment.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh my god, my back. Brody bed thief.
He is spoiled.
He is. He's on my pillow. He's on my like comforter. He's on my throw. Look at the little worm. Weasel. Hmm? Oof. Sorry, Gavin. Oh shit. Did I leave?
Nope.
What happened? I heard like disconnect and reconnect noise.
My internet crashed.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird.
Hi.
I'm back.
I'm good to go.
Sorry's
Half the
here.
party's here. Oh, there's 4 of us. Six, 666.
All right. Alrighty. Man, my space heater fan is so loud. I hate it. But it keeps my toesies warm. Alright. Opal Kozik.
I'm here.
Alright, I'll just assume Opal is indefinitely pooping. Alright.
There's a friend scenario that he's struggling with.
Indefinitely pooping. Got it. Alright.
Yep.
One might say it disposed of. Teehee. Alright, anyway. So Veldrin, I'm not sure how far what you may recall since you stepped away.
We had decided not to destroy the portal yet.
Alright. And pretty much I just moved you because everybody was just heading back to the original building.
Mhm.
Actually, we can RP it out. So, Veldrin, you were deep in thought with the discovery of what your detect magic provided you.
Mhm.
And just sort of following along, head down in your journal, scribbling, writing, and then you just you've been just sort of following everybody's voice, and then you look up and you're back you're in this room again. There you go. We can role play that out.
Veldrin kind of popping out of this, like, focusing on what he's been thinking about, because he was the one that found the sword, so he's the one carrying it, I assume. He's going to go over to Zed, and he's kind of going to, like, hold the sword up to Little One. What do you think?
Oh, there's a little sparkle in his eyes, like a kid being presented candy, because this sword is so shiny.
It's more of like he's holding the hilt, kind of like a person holding a fish, like presenting it to Little One.
Oh, it's way bigger than he is.
Mm-hmm. Do you notice anything about this sword at all? Does it make you think anything or feel anything?
Pretty. And
Other
he's
than
like
that.
reaching a little talon out, but still from Zed's shoulder.
Veldrin will let him touch it.
Does Zed stop him or anything?
Yeah.
Are you gonna let the kid play with scissors?
Yeah, I don't think Zed thinks this is he's definitely just staring at Veldrin, very like furrowed brow, just kind of, what are you doing? This is a sword based off of Tiamat.
It and Little One seem to be resonating with each other.
That's not good.
Can I touch it, Dad?
Little one felt different at first, and it's like he got tuned to it.
Get no tingly in here. But he's still like eyeing this
Zed,
very ornate sword.
Zed's just, yeah, Zed's just standing here. He's very skeptical.
The question is, do you let him touch it?
Skeptical.
I guess is the answer I'm looking for.
Yeah, he's not like physically restraining him, you know, if he wants to. He's standing there, but he's not. Yeah, he's if little one wants to, I guess.
He reaches a little talon out, and he taps the hilt, and nothing happens.
Thank God for that. I was getting all nervous, like something was going to happen.
And then he just like bites onto the hilt and dangles from it, like a dog that won't let a stick go.
How heavy is he?
He's not that. He's heavy enough to be on Zed's shoulders.
Without
Not
flying
terribly.
off when he goes walking.
So yeah, he's just dangling there, and you just hear muffled words as he's using, like, just hanging there with his teeth. Shiny.
Um. Well, how's it going up there, guys? Are we putting the things in the door? Or getting ready to, like,
Did
in the wall?
Did somebody get the shield?
It's Marius. Marius has it.
Okay, great.
So he's standing next to, I guess, Niavar at this point.
And she looks at him and she's like, if we're going to get into the store, we have to have the sword and the shield. And they have to be inserted into the thing on the wall. And we can get them out again afterwards. Do you mind just handing the shield up to them so that we can, have at it, Marius?
He offers it to you.
She cocks her head. Yes?
I know not this device you speak of. How to operate it.
All right. And she'll take the shield. And then she will head back over to the ladder. Carefully, using her rapier that's sheathed on her back. She's gonna help get it up the ladder, and then she's gonna hand it up to be like, okay. Yoo-hoo!
Okay.
Get it up there. Why is little one holding the sword like a dog bone?
Shiny.
Yes, many shinies. Uh-oh. Is that Gavin?
Shiny.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he had to dip out. Distractions. Anyway,
Yeah.
so little one's just kind of dangling there. And there's a shield sticking up from the hole, and Neovara poking her head up.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay, how do I make a shinier thing for little one?
How about a coin?
She grabs a coin from her bag, and then she devilishly, amazingly, I can't cast light. Oh my god, no. I forgot I didn't
What?
take that spell. Light is a cantrip that you can take as a cleric.
And you can't cast that one?
Well, I don't have it, so I can't cast it. I was mistaking it between things. Like, you can cast light and it brightens up an object.
Oh, it brightens up an object. I see. I think a nice shiny coin will probably distract him.
She flips the coin his way. I don't know how to talk to children. Here, boy!
Give me a performance. See if you can pull his attention away from this big shiny sword.
No. I
Much,
think the
much
answer
like
is
a very
not.
focused pupper, he's stuck to that sword until otherwise.
And Zedran, just get your kid off the sword so that we might continue.
Right? Yeah, Zed'll he'll just grab little one. I let go.
There's a little resistance. I mean, very much like a dog not wanting to let its stick go.
Yeah, he'll pull a coin out, like kind of shuffle it between his fingers on one hand, kind of distracting little one. I'm almost assuming he's staring at the coin, but still has got his mouth on the sword. And Zed will kind of roll the coin up to his thumb and index finger, and he'll just flick it up in the air.
Give me a performance check to see if you can peel his attention away. Another exact same number. 3, 4. This is 3. He is really into this really ornate and elegant sword that Veldrin's still holding up as you're trying to pull him away. He's just like, but it's so shiny. It's so shiny. It tastes shiny too.
Yank him off of it, I guess. He's a kid. I guess it's mean of me to say, but like, Vel, you and I can both attest to the fact that, like, just pull the kid off. You won't even hurt him. Probably.
Guess that's up to Vel.
Well, Vel or Zed.
Veldrin's not gonna touch Zed's kid.
When I
That's
was
not his
saying,
kid to move.
when I said, like, Vel can attest, like, she's implying, like, yeah, we got pulled around by our mom all the time. It's fine.
But
There
also,
is zero childhood trauma here.
but also, he's the one holding the sword, so he's not gonna like. He's not grabbing another child, like someone else's child.
Child seems a bit strong, but
It's a child.
a ward, I guess, is sort of.
The true nature of being draconic. You just gotta have that shiny. They grow up so fast. He's our baby's first treasure.
Well, let's place the sword, regardless of the young one's attachment to it.
Yeah, what do you do? You attempted to persuade him and distract him, to which was unsuccessful.
Well, the first thing I said was Zed grabbed him, and he resisted.
Yeah, there was a little bit of resistance.
So what?
So
Do
if
I
you're
have to
trying to
roll
like,
like athletics?
yeah, I was gonna say if you're trying to like actively pull him away, then that would be athletics.
Uh,
That's enough to pull him away. He's not. It's not crazy. You know, he's not like latched on like a. You know, I don't know what dog has a good
Like
bite strength. I don't know,
Vice?
Doberman. Doesn't have like crazy bite strength. It's just he's just really attached to it. Like you know, a kid trying to hold on to his favorite like teddy bear, and you're trying to pull it away.
Why would you try and take a kid's favorite teddy bear away? That's terrible.
many reasons. I said that in character, not out of character, to be clear. To be clear.
Many such cases.
All right, so you peel him away, and he's like, "Aww." And you now have a little one in your hands, a tiny little amethyst Durgan.
Quick, shove the thing on the wall.
Yeah, Vildren will do what he needs to do with the sword to get the door to unlock.
Suddenly I can't hear Veldrin. Dang it. Audio's all over the place. Eh. Sorry, say again, I have to turn you up.
Vildren will just do what he needs to do to get the door to unlock. Like, do his part with the sword.
All right. So you walk over to the suit of armor and hold it up in front, and its hand reaches up and pretty much like kind of snatches the sword, and it holds it there, kind of like a knight holding a sword up, like it's in front of its helmet. That's a sword.
And Nevar has the shield, and she's like, okay, come on, put it up. Also, Marius, what does this door look like right now?
A change
Is
in
Marius down
color.
by the door?
Okay, but like, what color is it?
Gold.
All right, so that's Bahamut's door then. Because when we just had in the shield, it was Kyber's door. That's interesting. But okay, take the shield, put it in.
I'm guessing somebody grabs it and does the same thing. Expediting.
I've got
I
it.
sure hope so.
I
All
grabbed
right.
it and put it in.
It snatches the shield and holds it up in front of the sword.
What's it looking like down there? It's holding the shield and the sword, so let's just run down and see what's going on.
Yeah, once it's in, Neovar will literally drop down.
All right.
Yeah, Sorry runs down to see what's happening.
So people hop down the ladder, check out the door, and the door where previously it would be when you put the sword or the shield in, it would change to a solid color. Now it is both colors interlocking, intertwining with basically as if they were designed to be both there, obviously, based on, the puzzle at hand. And oh, bless you. And basically imagine like the door has like black trim but primarily gold, and some of the bolts have like the like dark and like reddish coloration to it. Basically a golden black door with little bits of like undertone of red.
Okay, spooky. I guess we go inside.
Can it be open? Yes. Is it ready to enter?
It doesn't have a handle.
Can I push my hand through it?
Yes, you can. As you touch the door, just merely touching it in this current state, there is a brief, like very faint but brief flicker of light coloration around the frame, like where the door and the walls would connect. Just that little, almost like imagine you're in a dark room and there's like light that you can see under the door and like through the cracks, kind of thing. But it's brief.
Yeah.
And then the door, you hear like a sound of what are those things called? Like almost like the big wheels that you crank. Can't remember the name of them. But basically, it's one of those twisty, like helm of an old-fashioned, old-timey ship kind of cranky sound. And vault door. That's what I was trying to think. Like a vault door opening.
That's spooky.
And inside is another small space, very, very short hallway, like short as in like 10 feet. And lining one side of the wall is a motif just carved into stone. No. Actually, this is a good chance for Kozik. Because you have stone cutting still, right? Is that still a thing in this edition?
That is a skill, yeah.
Let's put it to use. I believe it's a
Okay.
history with the bone. Let's see I want to see if they changed it in any way in this edition. Dwarf. Stone cutting as a bonus action. You gain tremor sense with a range of 60 feet for 10 minutes. Ooh, neat. You must be on a stone surface or touching the stone surface to use this. The stone cannot be worked.
Seems like all it does.
Yeah, it's interesting. So they changed it from like knowing the type of stone to actually having a mechanical function.
Yeah. That is weird. I expected there would be like still that history bonus or whatever it was.
Yeah, let me look at the old one real quick. Let's see, this old stone cutting was whenever you make an
It was like-
intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, you're considered proficient in the history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check instead of your normal proficiency bonus. So basically, if it's stone, you get history, you get expertise, I guess.
Yeah.
That was the olden one. Interesting. I guess that makes sense because like how often did dwarves actually get to in in a gameplay session, how often did players get to be like, I get to use stone cutting because absolutely need to understand the history related to this stonework. It's like,
We used it a few times. It's like, oh, does this tell me anything? And then it would be like, not really. It's of good quality. You go, okay.
so now it actually has a mechanical sense. Okay. Interesting.
Do I feel the stone rumbling beneath my dwarven boots?
No, but you can still give me a history check on the stonework.
Yeah, let's try that.
It's almost
Yeah.
like you had stone cutting the old version. Okay. So, as a dwarf, and your knowledge of stone and stonework, and experiencing it and living around it, probably not crafting it because you're part of a noble house, but you probably would have seen
Indeed.
some of the crafters do their work. So when you're walking through this hallway and you see these motifs in the wall, on the left side there appear to be like draconic entities, like winged beasts, doing in heroic poses atop hills, with like rays of like a sun behind them, and rays of light that beam down upon the land. And on the other side, like what looks to be like crevasses and broken terrain and like floating islands in some kind of much darker and more rigid. Yeah, it's more rigid craft work. Like it's designed, the angles are more sharp, they're more angular, whereas the other one is more smoothed and like hewn. But the one on the other side, the darker colored one, seems to depict that of a draconic entity breathing flame across the land, or atop some of these floating islands. And with the 17, you realize that this stonework that you're standing on, it in itself is infused with not just stone but metal, and it's done in a way that feels very seamless. It's very easy to miss. It's very, like, if you just look at it and touch it, you wouldn't notice. But it would take somebody with stone cunning to really be able to uncover the minutia that whoever made this hallway was not only, or it could have been a team of people, you don't know, but whoever made this hallway made it with the intent of the quality of the artwork, but also with some kind of very high level engineering to be able to infuse metal into stone and have it still appear and feel like stone.
Yeah, I rub my hand across the kind of surface, and I do remark about that this is beautiful work. It's genius. It's as if metal and stone have been woven together as one substance. This is far beyond the skill of even the members of my realm.
Lore.
Let's keep going. Let's go further.
All right. Since you are such an expert in stonework and metalwork, I think that you should go first. I will, of course, keep an eye out for traps.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
And I go forward, and I kind of also remark upon, at least internally, about the duality of this, I don't know, this sort of shrine that we find ourselves in, both the vengeful and the healing on one side and the vengeful on the other. That's all.
And like I said, it's only like a 10-foot long hallway. But 10 feet isn't still a lot of stonework. And on the other side appears to be a door of similar make and coloration. This one does appear to have like the actual vault, the vault wheel on this side of it. And there's some stuff scribbled in a language that apparently nobody knows.
Marius, do you recognize the text?
So let's see. This hallway's not that wide, so he'd have to,
Well-
scoot past,
Shuffle.
squeeze past people.
I
Do the
am
shuffle.
equipped with the eyes of the rune keeper that allows me to read all writing.
The
Ah.
eyes of the rune keeper.
So as Marius scoots up, he looks at the motifs, and he's very wide-eyed and taken aback for a bit. But he's requested to come look at the door, so he does so. And he points to one bit of text, and he says, "This, the Father." It says, "The keeper of good deeds." And then he points to some text under it. And then I do not understand this language. But with your eyes of the rune keeper, you'd be able to read all of these. It says you can read all writing. Does it say you can identify what it is, though? I don't think it does.
I guess right. I wouldn't know about the history of it, or but I would be able to know what it says, I guess.
Yeah. So, as he said, the keeper of all good deeds, and then the text under it in another language says, the keeper of all evil deeds. And then, let's see, because there's basically multiple languages on this door, but you wouldn't know what they are. So yeah, so one says keeper of all good deeds, one says keeper of all evil deeds. One set of text says, let's see here, I gotta find my notes on that part. One set of text says, to this domain we shall protect. And then the fourth and last piece of text says, to this domain we shall destroy.
Hmm.
Well, if there's a choice, then I don't know what I think I know. I'd like to choose the good deeds.
Everything you're reading kind of resonates with what was being said about Mechanus, like that idea that there's the elements all in equal measure, and this door is like holding that balance of good and evil, or night and day, or black and white, and that's holding the balance too. There seems to be a theme between the two doors of holding balance.
Mhm.
I wonder if they're related.
The eternal battle between Kyber and between Kyber and Bahamut. Yeah.
Right.
Well, doors were made to be passed through, but
I mean,
hmm. So is
But
that
let-
what we're perceiving? Is there like a turn this way and you go that way, or turn the other way, or what quite? Yeah.
It's just one door, right? With
Yep.
writing around the
It's just
next
one
to the
door.
door, but there's yeah.
I mean, so Kozik tells us the whole passage, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely do.
So Neovara is going to make a quick religion check to try and parse it.
Hey,
Sort of
Veldrin.
rambling.
Quick question for Veldrin.
Yeah.
Is Detect Magic still up?
Um. Yeah, but it was in a space I designated, which was back in the past in the old building.
Oh, I thought it follows you.
If it follows you.
Oh, it follows me? Okay. Yeah, it's still up.
Perfect. Because amidst the motifs in the wall, and you're looking around. It's a very small hallway, so it would be active. I will tell you in a second. Because first, let's figure out Neovara's religion, and then what information are you trying to divulge?
I think she's trying to like parse the symbolism. Like the idea of like, one side being the protector and one side being the destroyer, that's like present throughout all religion. She's trying to like see like, okay, so there's one door, but here's this passage about like, is it like what does she think that this passage being here right before the storm might mean? Like, does she literally think that it's going to, like, if they open it, it'll destroy the world sort of thing?
Oh, with that, no. Yeah, with that information, you're confident it's not gonna be opening this door equals world exploding.
Not literal. It's probably just, an acknowledgement of the two gods that are, at the center of this little
Spat.
shrine, if you will.
It is a very
Kyber-
religious area, though. Just
Extremely. Devoted very much to Kyber and Bahamut. I will say, very in line with some of the followers of the Keeper, the Restful Watch. The way that they view Orion and the role of keeping souls for him. Sort of like this, you worship good and evil in equal measure. Maybe that's what the Randa was doing. Could he have built this place?
Who knows? If only you could talk to him.
If only. If I find a corpse, who knows?
If only. So, with Veldrin's active detect magic, there is some illusion amidst both of the motifs.
Illusion amidst both the motifs.
Yes.
That
I mean, that's
all?
all detect magic would tell you is just what.
Okay. What is?
I heard what
Like,
is.
what is around? What is around that? Like,
6
is
seconds.
giving the vibe.
A single round's about 6 seconds.
Oh no! Like visually, like what is he seeing?
Oh, what is around Veldrin in character? Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were trying to figure out like duration of detect magic or something. So yeah, it's pretty much you see illusion hidden throughout, well, quote unquote hidden, I guess unhidden because you're detecting it, but illusion on inside the motifs, like as part of the motifs. The motifs themselves are very real. It's just there's some hints of some kind of illusion amidst them. Almost, and since you have detect, it's almost like like those old kids books where it's just like a bunch of lines, but you stare at it for long enough that the lines actually like form into like words or a shape or something.
Yeah.
It's akin to stuff like that.
Is
It's like the
Veldrin
more you
able to
focus on one.
differentiate?
Oh, sorry, say again.
Is Veldrin able to differentiate those parts from what's real and what's not?
Well, I guess first we'll see what Veldrin does about it. Like, you see illusion? What do you do in regards to that?
I mean, now that he knows it's an illusion, he's just like, okay. It's an illusion. It's not real.
All right. So,
Are you going to tell us? Veldrin?
Well, does it look like it is serving any kind of purpose?
let's see. You can give me. It'll be something intelligence based. Probably a investigation. With a 13, yeah, it probably serves a purpose. I mean, they wouldn't have put illusion here for no reason. With this much time and effort and energy built into making this and then throwing illusion into a wall, seems like there's a purpose.
When he tries to look at it without seeing what the illusion is, just being like, okay, it's not real. What's actually there? What changes about it?
Bits of the terrain in both of them. Not so much the dragons. The dragons remain untouched and unmoved. It's the
What about
illusion
the
is overlaid
terrain?
in like bits of the terrain, like very well hidden kind of hints kind of thing.
What about the terrain is changing?
Well, so you probably like close one eye or try and look at it without actively turning off detect magic. Which I wonder how you do that. Anyway, for narrative purposes, you maybe narrow your eyes to a point where you're just like, and you could swear maybe some kind of manuscript or language, but you don't really know what language.
I do have in comprehend languages as a innate spellcasting.
Is it a concentration though? I believe it is. I think it is.
It just says duration 1 hour.
Okay, if it just says 1 hour and not concentration, then it's just an hour.
Mhm. All right.
Oh, I gotta get that tab back open. There we go. For the duration, you understand literal meaning of any language. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface.
So he has to be touching the surface that the words are written on.
All right, which surface do you touch? The left or the right? The good or the evil?
He'll go left first.
Left would be good and right would be evil. And what is Veldrin's alignment? Let's see.
I don't think I.
It's typically something that we just kind of ignore, but just as a
Yeah.
character, I wouldn't say Veldrin's evil.
No.
So you touch the left one first. And with comprehend languages, the words become apparent. Speak the truth, and the way shall open. And then under that, like in another piece of terrain, it says, know thyself. What is thy soul?
Hmm.
And I guess technically, oh wait, no, you have to touch the surface. Okay. Never
The
mind.
second one said what?
So the first one, sorry, second one was know thy soul, speak the truth,
No, they sell.
and know thy soul.
Oh, you said speak the truth and the way will open. And then you said know thyself and seek thy soul. That's what I wrote anyway. Maybe I wasn't listening.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to. I thought you wanted a synopsis of it. Sorry, yeah. Speak thy. Blech. Damn it, words. Dang old timey words. Make me tongue twist. The
Well, what I wrote
TLDR
from
is is basically speak the truth and know thy soul. The door shall open. I wrote this in such a horrible way. Confused myself.
Does Vel share what it says with the class?
He wants to see what the other side says for next.
so this is only on one side.
Yep.
Yes, this was on the left side. The speak the truth and the way shall open thing. Now
Yeah.
Veldrin wants to go to the right side and see what it says.
So the right side. Speak in lies, and the door shall close.
Share with the class, Veldrin.
Is there a second thing to this one like there was for the first side?
There is not. Ow.
The dwarves are saying, or the motifs, they say to speak the truth, and the door will open, speak in lies, and the door shall close.
Well, I can't say a goddamn thing then. Sorry and Marius and Veldrin. And for a
But
second
what
she like hesitates. Kozik. You guys are all the truth tellers, right?
what truth is it looking for? It said, "Speak the truth, and a door will open, and know thyself." That's what you said. What's it looking for us to say? I mean, it wants to hear some kind of truth to open, but truth regarding what? Truth about what? I
It
mean,
doesn't
what's it
say.
want?
Yes, that's a good question. So
Well,
right, so is there any like mechanical way that this door opens, or is it some sort of magical intention, or what can we determine?
Oh, it has the vault door wheel on it.
Well, let's turn the wheel, and 10 will get you 20. We're going to get a question.
Well, okay, I'll try and open it if
you,
everybody's ready.
you certainly know yourself.
It
But
does
just in
not
case.
budge.
It doesn't budge.
It
You have to
doesn't
tell
budge.
the truth, though. But, like, what truth about what? Say something true about yourself, Kozik.
Do we have to state our intentions?
Hmm?
Let's see.
It's worth a try. What are our intentions anyway?
We come we come here seeking the black diamond. And I try to
Oh,
open the door.
we?
At first, it doesn't budge. And then it does.
I think it's
E?
getting easier. Ugh. Ugh. Does anybody want to help? Come on. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm pushing with all my might.
All right, good. Thanks.
Speak your truth, sorry.
Hmm.
See, it's difficult to come up with a true statement on the spot.
Not even just a simple, my name is sorry, and I am of my oath is too blank.
I seek a double. I seek a a forked path, and I am in tension between the two, and a part of me seeks to follow my truest path as a paladin, and to follow my oath, and the other part of me seeks revenge for the loss of my family and my mentor, and they're equally tugging on me. That's my truth.
Ooh. So, Veldrin, you would see a little. So, when Kozik spoke his truth, the words kind of, jumble, not jumble, but they sort of like wiggle a little bit. And then when Sari says hers, both the left and the right wording wiggle a bit because now you can't really read what the one the left says because you're not actively touching it, but it just kind of looks like the letters shift or shuffle somehow, and the door gets just a
Okay.
little bit easier to open.
Oh shit, we're all gonna have to say something true, aren't we? Zedrin, you say something before me.
Something before you.
Marius, can you speak your truth before us?
I don't know if it has to be confessional. I just think it has to be a
Your
true statement.
intention.
Oh, I think it does.
It's your intention to know yourself. Marius, come on. Help a girl out.
Oh, he will walk up to that door and place his hand on it and clench ball up his fist and put it to his chest and like nod his head down. My life for the Father, and to all evils that plague our land, I give my life to protect. And the words jumble a little. Actually, he didn't go even further. This is a religious moment for him. And to vanquish all that is wrong in this world, and things that even seek to destroy this world, I will fight for it. Even if I must defend those of the alternative persuasion. And he kind of looks back at Niavara a little bit. And at that point, Veldrin, you see the words just kind of jump and jumble a little bit for both left and right side.
I'm not of the alternate persuasion. That's kind of mean. So, okay, who hasn't had little
It's
story
confessional
time
time
share
for
yet?
the players or the
Veldrin,
characters.
Zedrin, and myself.
Veldrin. That's right. Come on, lead the way there, Niavara.
Ugh,
Don't chicken out to the end.
but I am a chicken. Bok bok. For the sake of, not lying through our mission, she actually will
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for the
go all the
raid.
way down to her changeling form, white skin, white hair. I don't know how sensitive it is to lying, and I don't want to think about the headache of trying to figure out, like, okay, if have been like that since you were a baby, is that really lying or not?
That's a good call.
I would consider both of them equally me, but again, this is a choosy magical artifact. Not me. And so she's like, okay, something true to know myself. State my intention. Fuck, this is hard.
Tis.
Tis. She places her hand on the thing to start pushing as she's like, I want to understand what happened to me better, and I want to serve my God and understand how change defines all.
Let's see. Okay. All right. So at that statement, yeah. So Veldrin, you would actually see, interestingly enough, both sides of the walls wording, do a little jumble.
Is being so truthful.
Hey, welcome in, Wild. Hello,
All right.
hello. Elena, how you doing? Welcome, welcome.
Veldrin
Eric.
and Zedrin.
Hi, hello, hello. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in.
Zed's gonna kind of shuffle up
They're solving a puzzle currently.
to the door. Kind of take a deep breath his hand on the door. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I came from. I don't know my purpose.
It's a mood.
All right, all right.
But what do you know?
The words on the left. Yeah, the words on the left would jumble. I'm guessing Veldrin
Under
is
the
Veldrin
door
like
buzz.
calling these out as this happens, or is just Veldrin just watching?
He's watching.
Nevar, like, because they can't open the door yet, she's like, okay, Veldrin, I know this all sucks, but you're going to have to, help us pull this stupid thing open anyway.
I know.
You also just don't want to say something true about our intentions.
He walks up and like puts his hands on the door to help them. I grew up knowing fear better than anything else, and I would like to make it that no one else has to experience fear.
Ooh. All right, all right. One, two, three, four. I think we've pretty much got everybody. Okay. All right. And then Opal would walk up and utter something under her breath. And at that point, like those of you who were trying to like crank this this vault door, it's just as everybody is admitting a truth, it becomes easier and easier to the point where it practically just opens itself. The wheel just spins with such little effort at this point until you can hear the sound of a lock disengaging. Chunk. What the? Uh-oh. I think my thing broke. Crap.
Okay.
What? Hold on. My did Stream Elements crash? Oh. Here.
The lock disengaged, and then what?
Oh, sorry, my OBS was doing something weird. Why is my... Okay, that's just weird. All right, sorry. So my OBS was doing something wonky. So as this door opens, this heavy set vault, like you realize as this door is opening, it is thick. Like this door is at least like 3 or 4 feet thick. But it glides open, it glides open and it's pushed. Hold on, I'm trying to think of, if you're facing it, it would be an outie, but if you're inside, it would be an innie. So when you push it, it pushes away from you. There we go. And inside, you see at first darkness, but as the door fully opens, you are immediately greeted with, oh boy. Quick question is, let's see, I think little one would be on Zed's shoulder. So you were immediately greeted with piles and piles and piles of gold, of just, it almost seems like mountains of gold. Think like Scrooge McDuck diving into a silo of gold kind of piles of gold.
Like Smog's cave.
Yes, just gold and
Yeah.
just stuff, fancy looking things everywhere.
Beautiful.
And yeah, you're basically greeted with it. But it's like as soon as the door fully slides open, just lights start to illuminate, just very dimly lit. But it's just ambient light that casts enough to be able to see.
How big is it inside?
Outside of your range of vision. Huge.
So
It is the
seemingly
epiphany of
sea
somebody's
gold.
vault.
Well, that's interesting.
And this is what was being protected.
All those lives for somebody's treasure.
People will do more for less.
I know that there's probably a lot of stuff in here to maybe shuffle through, but Kozik, you see any resemblance of something you might be looking for?
That's a good question. Wow. Quite dazzling. So do we enter the room like it's a bigger space, or is it like a closet, or what
Oh,
have we got?
it's a huge space. I just
Okay.
saying the door is open. I don't know if you guys want to walk through. I wasn't just assuming you're gonna immediately walk through, so I just described it as you
Oh
saw
yeah,
it as a
yeah.
door open.
I enter into the space and take a look around me.
This
Is there
room,
any? Well, I mean, is there any light in here of any kind, or is it just sort of somebody has a lantern out, or
He
it's
said there's like ambient.
yeah.
ambient light?
Yeah,
Okay.
but we need more light than just that, though. I was looking for I used to have a cantrip that did that, but it changed now.
And basically, even for you, Kozik, a noble who's, you grew up a noble. You know of treasuries. This is vastly larger than any treasury that you've ever seen from your house or other houses combined. There's way more loot and stuff in here than you probably could have ever imagined could be possible in one space.
This is the wealth of an entire nation, or something like it. It's truly stupendous. And I go in there, and
Sorry.
I'm kind of walking amongst the the richesse that we see.
Yep, and when you step in, you see like scepters and like golden scepters with jeweled crowns and what look like chests, locked chests, but chests amongst the piles. You see like very ornate and possibly even like ancient um tapestries strewn about along some of the wall. You would see like candelabras and furniture that has been perfectly preserved, made of material that you've, I mean, just at a glance, you're not sure what it's really made of, but it's sewn in a way that is just so ornate and so decadent and opalescent that it puts any chairs or furniture or anything that you've ever had to shame, which is very rare because you're a dwarf, and dwarven made stuff is kind of known to be some of the best, right? So to be impressed by this must mean some level of relative artifact.
Marius, do you know whom this hoard belongs to?
He shakes his head. Only that it was our task to protect it. We were told it is the remnants of our own and nothing more.
The remnants of what?
Remnants of our own.
Oh, your own. Your people, or
Hmm.
what do you mean? Your own.
He shrugs.
Shrugs.
They kept us in the dark as to what's in here. Other that it is important, and I dare not disturb ancient relics of our people.
Oh goodness, and there's so many relics that look like they need to be disturbed. But I do my best not to
Spoken like a true dwarf.
handle too many things. But
What is it you're here
this
for?
robe, I'd like to put that on. Oh, but so can I do like an investigation or something? So I can. I mean, I'm happy to make a roll and or
Let's
do
start with the
something to see
perception.
perception. Okay.
Kozik, I'm thinking that since it was asking about our knowing ourselves and truth and lies and all that whatnot, I imagine that if I was you, I'd only be looking for that diamond and not mess with other things. There's obviously magic afoot, and maybe we're not supposed to be touching stuff that isn't directly related to ourselves.
You may be right, but perhaps there's some sort of gap between truth and virtue. But we'll see.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking. Well, this black diamond might be here, or some clue that will lead us to it. Maybe.
All right. So what's everybody doing? Because like I said, this room goes kind of outside of some of your vision. Granted, these mountains of piles of gold do obscure a good bit, but this is a big
Sarge is
area.
with
Just
a big torch.
yeah, you need a really big torch to see everything in here.
Okay. Looks like I have a 20-foot radius and then a dim light for an additional 20 feet.
Yeah, a really big torch. So Kozik is gonna do some perceiving. What's Niavar doing? I'm just gonna go down the list. Which I guess Niavar has stepped away. All right, what's Sari looking for?
Well, Sari's really trying to think about knowing that there's magic operating and that it's talking about truth and lies and knowing yourself and not. She's trying to figure out what the room needs in terms of interaction. Like she doesn't want to make any wrong moves that would be interpreted, as
Lying.
just greedy or lying or evil intent or anything like that. She wants to step lightly and just she's trying to make sense of like what her relationship to this room is. She has no interest in taking any of it. She thinks that's a dead for sure stupid thing to do in a place like this. Um, and she's not interested, but she knows it must hold some. She feels that it holds something for them, but she just doesn't have any idea what. And so she's just trying to feel it out.
So just kind of chilling.
No, not chilling. Really trying to figure it out.
To think on herself.
Yeah.
Retrospective look. Introspective. There we are.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
about you, Niavara?
So sorry, I had to step away. What has happened since the door? So obviously we didn't open it yet.
No, we did.
We
Dude,
did?
huge, massive, smog-like cavern full of gold and jewels and mountains of gold and more wealth than even Kozik have ever seen amassed in one place. And it's humongous.
Oh shit.
And Kozik wants to go check it all out. and he's doing a perception check, I think. And then Cubed is checking with each one of us. What are we doing now that we're looking upon this space that we can't even see? Like I've got a torch up that can kind of go maybe 40 feet, and that doesn't even touch. Like it's so much bigger than that.
And also a lot of obscured
Mountains.
vision because there's lots of piles of things.
And it's
Yeah.
shiny and like, underground, reflective, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like Smog's cave in The Hobbit.
I think to a degree she's kind of amazed. She's like, damn, okay. Well, she's never been like a thief who wants money. She never has been.
Right.
So I think it's more of a, well, Marius, what are you going to do with this? Since this is technically, to a degree, your inheritance.
He's just leaning against the wall with arms crossed. He seems deep in thought. Head
Nothing
down.
real. Hmm.
But as described, it's a lot of treasure, but also a lot of like stuff. Lots of furniture and like opulent furniture and just stuff. There's like chests and gold and it's just imagine people just took every bit of belongings that they had, like maybe an entire kingdom's worth of belongings, and threw them in a room. I mean, it's what it
I
feels
think
like.
she would, since there's furniture, I think she would like seek out a couch and then sit down.
Yeah.
Because again, she's not a greedy person. If anything,
There's-
she might want like a little button to commemorate the moment, but like other than
A
that,
button, of course.
find a couch, sit down, and then peer around the area for a little button for a commemoration. And then make sure that Zedrin's not going to have a little Aladdin monkey moment.
All right. So it
Yeah,
is the cushiest
exactly.
couch you have ever sat on.
Mm.
Sorry plops down next to her.
I'm not evil, am I? Sorry.
Absolutely not. I don't see it that way at all. I do not.
I understand that I do bad things, or I did, but like,
Yeah, I don't believe that's your intention. I think you've been through a hell of a bit of trauma and all kinds of nasty shit, but I think your heart is true. I know there's been a time you wouldn't want to hear that, but I don't think you're a bad person.
wonder why Marius thinks I'm a bad person, or on the opposite side of him.
Maybe he's a
Ooh.
racist. Well, you're a drow.
Well,
Well, he thinks you're a
culturally.
drow.
Well, at this point, he's officially seen the changeling look. And she's
That's
still
right.
in it at this point. Again, she's not testing a
Maybe it
choosy
just
magical
terrifies him.
artifact.
Maybe he's never seen a changeling and maybe it
Hold on.
terrifies him.
Could be, or it could be that he's intimidated by my amazing religious prowess, my faith to my God.
Yeah, quite different than his, maybe, so that could be
Wondering if you guys
off-putting for
hear
him.
the
Or
echo
maybe
when
it's
somebody talks loud.
your direct and forthright manner.
Or I need to stop shrimping.
That could be it too.
De-shrimp. All right. So while you're having that conversation, you see Kozik peering around, looking around for stuff. What's Veldrin doing?
Veldrin's going to go over to where Marius is and kind of like sit down a few feet in front of him, facing him. I don't know what you're thinking, but if it's any crisis of faith, I am here.
It's not a crisis of faith.
What is it?
A remembrance of those whose things these belong to. And he's keeping his head down.
What do you plan on doing with it?
I have no use for any of this.
What do you plan on doing now? You open the door, there's no one else. You find that this is what you were protecting the whole time.
Relics of my people, worth protecting. But there's nothing I can do about that. There's no people to represent these. There's no kingdom to bring these back to. There's nobody to return these things to. So they have no use to me.
What do you want to do with yourself now?
He shrugs. Wherever the Father takes me, that's where I shall go.
You could remember your people, take things with you, create something in honor of them, share it with other people.
He lifts a hand and taps his skull. I do that already through their memories, through what I remember of them.
Memories are one thing, but do you want your people to die with you? Or would you rather have them remembered by others?
From what you explained, there would be no others left who would even remember. These, and he extends a hand outward, pointing to the to the vast wealth in front of him. These objects, they are not memories, they are objects. They don't represent what we were, they don't represent our culture, they represent our craft.
Your craft is your culture. You have your own distinct flair. It looks different from what I grew up with. It's different from what other people grow up with. Aesthetics are as much history and culture and people as anything else.
Yet it's our deeds that determine if we are worth the Father's honor. And these objects are not deeds.
I like Marius.
And he just shakes his head. But take what you wish. Like I said, these are just objects. They will only get the memories of our people so far. And they mean nothing if I'm the only one left. And as there's a moment of contemplation, so is there anything else you want to do, Veldrin? Just kind of chat up Marius?
Yeah, he's just talking with Marius right now.
All right, and Zed, was there something you want to do? Because before you
Zed's
do
just-
anything, Little One is already darted off your shoulder and diving onto a pile of gold.
Oh, that was what I was gonna do.
You're gonna have a bellyache.
Little one and Zed do it together.
No, Zed was literally gonna, as soon as we saw gold, he was gonna grab little one to make sure that he doesn't run off. But he's also gonna send the celestial raven back out behind them and up the ladder and probably land it in the corner of the room near the suit of armor that's holding the shield and the sword.
All right. I'd say that's within 120 feet. So, I guess first, was that all you were doing? Just sending the bird?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of standing outside of this expanse. And he's grabbed onto little one probably with both arms, and he'll feed him a coin just to try and keep him distracted, and then send the raven out back behind him.
So, due to the range, I believe it's within 100 feet that it can communicate with you. It would say there's something coming.
Um, like, I'd still be able to hold on to little one if I snapped into the raven's vision, right? I don't just go like limp.
Yeah, not limp. You just, all your senses are dulled.
Okay. So with that sort of cue, I guess he'd blink and go into the eyes of the raven and just look around immediately. Does he see anything or perceive what the raven might have been mentioning?
Little tabby cat casually walking its way down.
Does it look familiar?
Yep. Well, let's see. Yeah, I think you've seen that one. Have you? Yeah, I think you've seen it at least once or twice.
I guess which one was it? Because there's been a few.
Kha'Zix.
Gotcha. All right. At that point, he'll kind of blink back in, and he'll probably holler out, just so Kozik is aware. I mate that cat that likes to follow you around that might be friendly with your matron or patron or whatnot. Seems to be walking up.
I guess that's good. Oh gosh. All right, where is it? And I'll try to look around.
It's on its way.
Okay.
Wait, what's on its way?
A big ol' something.
Oh, okay.
Or a tiny little
Creature,
something.
probably.
It's just the Dark Lady's kitty cat is roaming around here somewhere.
Oh.
That's something indeed. Well, if you're saying that there's something related to your lady, and Marius is clearly having some sort of experience, and Veldrin is Veldrin.
Belgian is
I
Belgian.
suppose Neovara is going to like try and, attune herself to her faith as well.
Give me a quick little perception as you're quote unquote attuning to faith.
Well, like, it's not like attuning to, it's more like what's the phrase?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Meditation.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right, come on, screen.
Kozik's kind of meandering. You're kind of sitting.
Page
And
unresponsive.
I need to move this. It's just kind of with little one. Because, yeah, I'm using this general. Because I don't have a map that's like 500 by 500, basically. Perceiving.
Yep. Sorry, it's because the page was unresponsive for a hot minute there. That is such a low check for such a high score.
That's how the cookie crumbles. Wait a minute. Yeah, because you're a cleric. So, you're getting, I don't know, in the mood, as one might say.
Horrible way of phrasing it, but I understand.
I know. But you did say you were doing, wasn't it the Fury today? Fury and Shadow?
This is still from the morning that we... Did I actually say? I did. So
No,
this
it's
is day
Shadow.
2 with Marius. So did I declare it the second time around?
Well, either way, you see a mirror.
Oh shit. Traveler, Shadow. Yeah, Fury sounds accurate.
See, then getting in the mood makes sense.
So she'll so mirror. No harm. No foul.
Yep. No harm or
She'll-
foul.
She'll approach it.
You approach it.
Does she see herself in the mirror?
Let's see, you're in your base form, right?
All
Or-
the way down to changeling.
Yep. There's not a changeling in the mirror.
What is it?
There it
If
is.
it's not a changeling.
It's definitely not a changeling in the mirror. And you look, and you're just like, what? And at that point, in that exact same moment, the cat barges in. And by barge, I mean really nonchalantly walks in and meows loudly.
Mhm.
And also, Zed, because this is all happening simultaneously. So, Zed, you would also get another communication from the bird that something big is coming. And also, because it's all happening in the same scene. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, as all of this is going on, like in this moment, I kind of picture the cat shuffling between Zed's legs, maybe, and Zed getting like a ping from the Raven again. And this time, instead of just saying, yeah, something's coming, it maybe seems like more of a warning. And so before looking through the Raven's eyes, he'll kind of like whistle out loud, so to get everyone's attention, and just kind of holler out, "Aye, something else is coming." And then he'll blink into the Raven's eyes.
And in that exact same moment, let's see here. Veldrin kind of feels like yeah, there'll be a little bit. Give me a perception real quick, Veldrin. Didn't even need Starry Form for this one. You could swear that you heard like whispers in the air, and they sounded very familiar. And the only words that you can really hear, almost like a staticky, broken communication. You know, he's coming for you. And at that point, Zed just kind of, because yeah, you did the see through the eyes. Actually, sorry, you can also give me an insight check.
An insight check.
Yep.
All right. Wait a minute. Hang on, my cursor. Where are ya?
There's multiple things happening.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
One of the funniest things to threaten Veldrin with is the ominous he, because Veldrin's like, I don't know many men.
Guess it probably would have clarified. Yeah, no, I'd say he. It is more apt. So with a 22, you get a shiver down your spine.
Do I have any idea why I'm getting a shiver down my spine?
Nope, just a sixth sense kind of thing.
And what was I just dozed for half a second. Was Veldrin just talking about something? I missed
No,
okay.
but so
So
pretty.
I tell everybody. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Oh, so basically, the TLDR in a sense. So Zed, when you tune back into the Raven, the whole room up top just goes completely black. You're still communicating, but it's like a darkness has filled the room, and it just happened out of nowhere. And that's where was gonna be ending the session.
Nice.
Wow.
Mystery
So-
deepened.
So Zed sent the Raven off to take a look. Apparently.
Yeah, back behind us in the room we came from, he sent it back up and kind of landed it next to the suit of armor. He didn't say anything, but his thought process was we when we were at the portal, we had mentioned that we have the sword so no one can use it. And then it
Right.
kind of dawned on Zed when we were all standing down here, we now don't have the sword, it's in the suit of armor's hand. And so he
Right.
sent the Raven up to almost keep an eye on that so no one does
Right.
come in. And
brilliant.
apparently the cat that's related to Kozik's deity, I guess, showed up. And then a few moments later something else showed up and it all went to dark.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Alrighty.
The last thing I remember was when
Buddy.
Niavara and I were sitting on the couch talking, and then Veldrin started talking with Marius, and that's the last
Yeah, it's
thing I
late.
remember because
We started
everybody's
late.
voices were so soothing, and my head was down on the table.
Everyone's like getting freaked out, and Veldrin's like, "What men do I know?" He's like, "I don't know men."
What did that have? What?
Veldrin
Real.
heard a voice that said, "He's coming for you," and he's like, "Who's coming for me? I don't know a man."
Oh.
I don't know any men that I would be that scared of. More
Yes.
accurately,
Exactly.
what men do I know that I would be scared of? Like, ugh.
That's
If
funny.
they said she's coming to me, I would be shitting my pants. But like, he,
Exactly. You say she's coming, and he's like, "I can name 3 right away."
and I'm running. Second part of that phrase. Niavara is not bothered by Zedrin's like, oh my god, guys, something's coming, because like she's looking in the mirror. Something's not right. That's not a mirror if it's not actually reflecting correctly. A mirror is a
Alright.
door.
And wasn't it Kozik that said earlier, and doors are meant to be stepped through? All right.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be there if you weren't supposed to step through it.
Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky.
All right. So with that, I'm gonna wrap
Hey,
up
and
the session
so
there. We did
should
start a
we
little late.
be
People were getting sleepy.
looking at the
So,
like fun items
know.
and stuff like you sent the note about?
we put in the the
Uncommon
time,
and rare items.
and we're short somebody. They have to dip out a little early. So
Yeah, I made my list. I was like, hoo hoo hoo.
thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you all showing up and lurking. The raid, appreciate that raid. My mans. Let's see. So we typically do this every Tuesday at 7:40, preferably 7:40 Pacific. But we started a little late tonight because stuff came up. But for those of you on the Yubles Tubles, we do this, like I said, every Tuesday, 7:40 on Twitch, Twitch TV/Cube222. And if you want to know when I go live again, i.e. tomorrow, we will be doing a different D&D campaign that I run on Wednesday. That's going to be at 5:30 Pacific, so tomorrow. As far as other announcements, I think that's the gist of it. So, let's send you off to somebody who's also doing some D&D. Pass it along. Pass the love. There we go. So with that, like I said, I hope you all have a wonderful evening or morning, and hope to see you guys again soon. But if not, try not to party too hardy. And I'll get you going as I do this. Boop. And yeah, we'll be on our way. Have yourselves a wonderful evening.